Hi, I'm Seth Mulliken. I'm Associate Teaching Professor in the Communication Department within the Media and Screen Studies major. I'm going to just talk a little bit about how I think about AI both in my classroom and in the research that I do. One of the things that's very important to me as a media studies scholar in talking about AI technologies is to treat them as neither some sort of specter, foreboding specter that necessitates that we panic about what it might create, nor to treat the technologies as neutral, as if our job is to provide either an owner's manual or a kind of way for our students to be trained on these devices. Instead, my focus is to think about how AI technologies need to be thought about in a larger context, political, social, cultural, that it has connections to the ways that we have already used media technologies, as well as potentials for the future. And to think about them in that way, as one example, my research focus is currently on AI-generated music, and I'm particularly interested in the ways that we talk about AI-generated music, we in a larger kind of social sense, and particularly to interrogate what seems to be a panic about the possibilities of AI-generated music, and to look at that supposed panic within the context of past interactions between humans and technologies in music creation, things like drum machines, synthesizers, using samples from other music and creating new music out of it. Things like generative practices in music, which have been around since the 1970s. All of these things are ways that we need to put AI-generated music into these contexts. And I encourage that both with my students in the classroom. We listen to past examples of interactions between music and humans in which it's not simply about a human creating music, it's as much about interacting with the technologies, allowing the technologies to inform how the human engages in creativity, as well as to interrogate the differential levels of what is considered to be the human in that context. And this is one of the most crucial questions, I think, with AI, because the questions about either protecting or enhancing the human seem to be the ones that keep coming up. But I think that needs to be thought about in the context of an understanding that what is human is not simply a matter of biology or some sort of essential philosophical or emotional idea, but rather a political idea. Who is and is not human is a matter of politics, a matter of inequalities that are systemic. And as a result, any conversation about AI inevitably is going to talk about what is human, whether it's the creative, the economic, but that needs to be understood that when we say human, we are always talking about something that is politically created, something as a result of inequalities of power and authority being able to decide who is and is not human. And so for me, both in my research and in my classroom, these are the kind of foregrounded questions about AI. It's not simply providing our students with a user's manual to succeed in the workplace with these devices, nor is it to kind of embody some sort of resistance or abject fear in order to protect some idea of what is human from the AI. Instead, we need to understand the technologies as integrated into pre-existing political, social, technological, cultural contexts. And so that's where I fall in terms of the use of AI technologies.